August of 2013. A young woman, a high school kid, we brought in to help upstairs to clean up some of the drawers upstairs that are kind of a mess, and she was doing some cleaning things up. And she actually ran across an old 16mm film in the drawer there. A film that was shot about 1938 that shows the Japanese community here in Monterey playing baseball down the wharf, having fun. And so, gee, we'd never seen this film before. So I began to look through the drawers, and I see this sort of rolled up envelope. So I pull them out of an envelope, probably the first time since 1945, and I unrolled them, and I saw what they were, and oh, holy mackerel.
What is the legality of rounding people up without trial, without evidence, and without any due process of any kind? They are incarcerated merely because he looked like the enemy. They lost their property, they lost their businesses, some had lost their lives. And even after the war, after the people returned from the war, they were subjected to vandalism, attacks, threats, this sort of thing. That was pretty commonplace. The Monterey Petition is a textbook example of people standing up for what the country should be about. For these people in Monterey to take a contrary stand and see the humanity behind it, that's pretty exceptional. I think it's a lesson for all time.
Monterey was originally a Spanish town, Spanish capital of California.
I mean, they were speaking Spanish here until the 1890s. This was not your typical New England replica California town. This was a different place.
Very large Sicilian, Italian population. And we often forget about the important Japanese-American contribution to the fishing community here.
Sicilians and Japanese fishermen dominated the economy here.
Japanese came here because of fishing. So the Japanese came here for abalone, and they also came here for salmon.
And they've been completely sort of written out of that history. It's all focused on the Italians and Sicilians.
In the 1909 salmon season, there were 185 salmon boats working the Monterey Bay. 145 of them were Japanese-owned.
The Monterey Peninsula was such a multicultural, a wonderful mix of people, and many of the racist things that grew other places didn't take root here.
But the Japanese who came to Monterey, one of the things they did was they westernized themselves immediately and got involved within the communities themselves. Monterey is the only place where the fishermen here had one union. Whereas in Southern California, Northern California, all the ethnic groups had separate unions. Monterey had one. Monterey is a small town. These guys all grew up together, and they all went to school together, they all played together. But the real key, at least for me, the real key was baseball. They all played baseball together. And it was not uncommon for these young Japanese boys to learn to speak Italian before they learned to speak English, and those Italian boys that learned to speak Japanese before they learned to speak English. And if you look at any photograph from any Japanese event that's going on, the first thing you'll see in every photograph is the American flag. They always have that flag out there.